So I live in an old, awkward, narrow railroad apartment in Brooklyn, and I love it so much. It's basically a glorified studio apartment, and it's a complete disaster area right now. This is the aftermath of a very chaotic time in my life, which I think is coming to a close. I woke up this morning with a sudden burning desire to get everything cleaned up and to also rearrange pretty much every piece of furniture in my apartment. I recently decluttered my entire apartment for the first time ever and then finally listed and started selling everything on Depop. If you're interested in buying any of my stuff, I'm going to go through and declutter a couple more things that I didn't wear this winter that I thought that I would. And then I'm going to start moving stuff. I'm going to move every piece of furniture. I'm so excited for that part. So let's get to the cleaning. This is all Depop stuff. It took me a really long time to take pictures of everything. I've started selling stuff, which is very exciting, but I need to put it all away in the meantime. I can't just live there until it sells. It's funny, I was so happy when I decluttered. Deciding what you're decluttering is the first happiest step. Actually moving stuff out is so hard. Another reason why it took me so long to list everything, I had planned to throw my first big party in my apartment. That's part of the reason why I wanted to do the declutter. I had just like a mountain of stuff, and then a couple days later I had to make it spotless in here. So basically all of this stuff just went straight back into the closet in bags. This is a reminder for someone. If you want this, you can have it. Look how pretty. I feel like this whole process of decluttering, if there's anything that I learned, the amount of things that I had, like this thing that was given to me for free that I just took because it was free. I get it. Like, I get why I do that because I don't have a lot of money. And so when I'm able to get something for free, I really appreciate it. But I also think that it's important to actually choose the things that you wear or keep in your home. So many of these things, like this thing that was given to me for free, I've never worn because I didn't choose it. I didn't want it in the first place, and I just took it because it was free, and I was like, I can find a use for that. So yeah, my big lesson for myself to only bring in things that I am obsessed with. This is actually why I love Depop so much. You can search specifically for exactly what you want. That way you're just like way more likely to have something that you really love. This is the pile of stuff that I knew that I couldn't sell, stuff that I can donate that other people can still use, and then some of it is stuff that like is not usable anymore and I need to send to a place that can recycle fabric. For instance, this is wool sweater, like it's just filled with holes. I guess a moth that was in my closet. I can't donate that, so would otherwise go in the landfill, but I had a couple of people in my decluttering video give me really good suggestions for places that recycle fabrics. Very cool. Okay, this is all clothes to donate. I think I'm gonna put it on the street for free, maybe tomorrow because it's a Saturday. Now I'm gonna go through and put this chair of clean clothes away in my closet here and simultaneously pick out stuff that I did not wear this winter and then move some stuff over to this closet. This gray hoodie, I'm pretty sure I kept it just because it was my ex's, actually makes me feel weird feelings, so I'm gonna put that on Depop. This is another thing I was sentimental about. I did not pull this to wear once this entire winter. It takes up a lot of space in my closet. So if I'm not gonna wear it, I gotta let it go. Look at the cuffs. This is incredible. Sad to let that go, but realistically, why keep it? Something about this time in my life, I really want to get rid of stuff that doesn't feel like me. I have so many black turtlenecks. I didn't wear this at all. I don't like it, to be honest. Why do I have this? Okay, now I'm gonna pull all of the winter stuff, like stuff that's too warm to wear now. This is all the stuff that I just pulled to sell on Depop, so I need to put that somewhere. Where do I put it? I might just put everything in my kitchen for now since I'm not really rearranging anything in my kitchen. I love getting rid of stuff. I've become addicted. It's just gonna go on a chair. It's good for now. Somebody downstairs on the street keeps repeating the same phrase over and over again, and I wasn't listening, I was kind of tuning it out. I realized that she's advertising to people walking by free beer, free flowers, free embroidery, tattoos, and other stuff inside. Those are all my favorite things. If anybody wanted to lure me to my death or something, all they have to do is stand outside my window and say free beer, free flowers. She keeps saying it over and over again. I feel like she's like a siren of the sea, and it's working. I'm gonna go down there and check it out, but first I have to get my chair of clean clothes put away. It'll serve as good motivation for me to get this done quickly. Okay, so there was a very cute event happening downstairs, which is just crazy. That happens sometimes in New York City. This is why I love living here so much. So much good stuff happening all the time. Literally summoning you from your apartment. They were giving out free beer. This is a huge beer. I haven't finished it. They were doing free beer, free flowers, and they were also doing free embroidery on bandanas. So I got this bandana for free, but I didn't get it embroidered. I could use this on my sailboat. This is one of my favorite colors in the world, so I'm actually just happy that I got this. And a friend just texted me about a birthday party also in my neighborhood. So I think I'm gonna put off rearranging all my furniture for tomorrow. Okay, it's the next day. I did go out with friends last night. I'm so glad I did. It was so much fun. I realized that I hadn't really socialized the entire week, and anytime I go too long without actually socializing, I get very weird and awkward. And I'm ready to move some furniture now. I'm gonna put some music on for me and for you while I pick up the little bits. I don't know if I properly explained yet why I want to reorganize all of the furniture in my apartment. I live in a junior 1-bedroom, which is basically a bigger studio apartment. I have one extra very narrow room that I used for many years as my office, and that room isn't big enough for like a real living room. This room, which is huge, is too big just to be a bedroom. So I have my actual living room and my bed in the same room. And for most of my 8 years living in this apartment, my bed was over here. Here, I'll show you. I'll show you the view of my apartment. So this is the darkest corner of my apartment. I really only have 2 options for where to put the biggest pieces of furniture. This like one blank wall, because on this side it's the windows that face the street and there's a radiator, and then on the other side is an extra door that leads to the hallway. It's a very short wall. It's basically just for the door, and then there's a crevice there where I have my desk, and then the doorway to the middle room, which is more like a hallway, if we're being honest. So yeah, for most of my time living in this apartment, my bed has been here, and then the living room has been here, because on this side of the apartment are 2 windows that face the street, and it is a pretty busy street, especially on a Saturday. There's a ton of people out there. So in general, this is the quieter place to sleep. The only downside of having the bed in that area, when I have people over, they have to walk around my bed, basically like just past my bed, in order to get to my living room, which is kind of awkward. If I had a real bedroom, people would probably never see my bed. For the most part, I don't mind it because this is New York. People are used to railroad apartments. They're very normal here. The only problem that I had with it is that every now and then I would have people sit on my bed, maybe to like say hi to my cats, because it's just like sticking out right there in the middle of the apartment. Just the idea of people wearing outside clothes on the place where I sleep. I don't know where they've been. They've probably sat their butts on the subway. I want my bed to feel as clean and cozy as possible all the time. And so I moved my bed to this far corner because it's the furthest area from the entrance. But I don't have people over that much. Also, I threw a pretty big party. People still sat on my bed. When your apartment is this small, it's just unavoidable. People are gonna sit on your bed, and I'm unfortunately just like not the type of personality to be like, get off my bed, you know? I just have to let it happen. Maybe like lay down a blanket that I can wash more easily than my duvet and stuff. I genuinely do feel more comfortable when my bed is over there. And so it's going back. I'm glad I tried. I gave it a good try too. It's been this way for almost a year, I think. Yeah, I'm excited to put the living area back near the windows. When it's here in this dark spot, I never want to sit there. It's also very important to me what the couch is looking at. When the couch is on this side, it's a mirrored closet and my beautiful brick fireplace. But when the couch is on this side, it's one of my mirrored closets and then also just a little chaotic corner of stuff that also doesn't make sense to me. I also feel like this whole area is just super awkward. I obviously like didn't buy this bookshelf for this spot. These two things don't make sense here. They do cover the door nicely, but it's weird. I'm even considering putting my bed right up against the wall with the door, which might just feel awful. I'm not sure. That door leads to the hallway, so it can be loud, but I got a new neighbor and he's actually not as loud as my previous neighbor. My previous neighbor, love him, but he threw parties multiple times a week and would have drunk girls in the hallway at like 5 or 6 in the morning. This neighbor goes to bed by like 11 or 12. I really want to hear your ideas. Please let me know what you would do if you had the space, because it is a little bit tricky. I can't put anything on this other wall with the brick fireplace and the mirror closets. So I'm pretty sure these are my only two options, but it's also possible there are other options that I haven't thought about yet. This is why I love the internet. Okay.
I saw her hand onto the table. Well, a tall, walking, big black cat. Charles said, I hope that you're able, boy. But I'm telling you, she knows where it's at. But suddenly we heard the sirens, and everybody started to run. Jumping out of doors and tables. Well, I heard somebody shooting the gun. Well, the D was palmed from my left hand, she was a hold of my right. Well, I told her, don't get scared, 'cause you're gonna be spared. Well, I gotta be forgiven if I wanna stand my living with the wrong woman in a black dress, just a fine now beautiful song.
It's so funny how Greta looked like she was trying to help me. She was under the bed the entire time and like riding on the carpet, her magic carpet ride. She does always want to be involved in whatever I'm doing, so I feel like she was trying to help. This is one of my favorite things of moving everything around, is I get access to all the dark, deep corners, and so I'm gonna sweep and mop, like scrub everything on my hands and knees. Knowing and feeling that everything has been scrubbed down, it's gonna feel so good when I'm done with this. And then I'm also gonna take my rugs to the laundromat and all my bedding. And I'm not gonna let anyone come over, so I can just bask in the cleanliness for a while. It's so freaking satisfying to me how perfectly this bookshelf fits in this spot. This is why I bought this. I measured it and I drove all the way out to New Jersey and got this from the sweetest old man who told me it's from either the 1890s or like the very first decade of the 1900s. It's gorgeous, it's very high quality, and he also fixed it up a little bit and put in this mirror and fixed the drawer. I love it so much, and it just did not make sense where it was there. It makes so much sense here. I also have to decide if I want the couch right up against the window here, sit here and people watch, which is very funny on a Saturday. There's all sorts of interesting characters out today, and I see a tree of flowers too. I used to sit on my bed and look out the window too, but this makes more sense for sitting in the middle of the day. It might be nice to try putting one of the nightstands here instead, so that there's a little bit of breathing room, and I can also put my lamp here, I think. But that's only if I'm gonna put my bed all the way up against the door. So maybe I'll try that first and see how it feels. And then I'm getting distracted by people walking outside. This is so fun! wanted to try the bed up against the corner because then that gives more separation between the living room and the bed by like that much. Also, look at the state of my middle room right now because I just shoved everything in here. So yeah, this is how far the bed sticks out on the way to that little living area, which is fine for me because this is plenty of walkway. I'm gonna move that nightstand obviously. So this is plenty of walkway to get by, and I'm actually gonna put this dresser back here. So I think these are gonna swap places, and then the bed will be a little bit more hidden. So it's really just that tiny little bit. Yeah, I just need to decide if I want a nightstand here. Honestly, it doesn't feel as weird as I thought it would. I think because I recently took the doorknob. There's like a big gold doorknob that stuck out. I took that off. But I think I might just drape fabric over the door so it's not really a door, it's just like a curtain or something. I kind of like this. It would be new for me. I might give it a try. Really living on the edge here. I could put one nightstand here and then another on the other side of the bookshelf or on the other side of the couch. I'm gonna try all the things. This is feeling so good. Like, this just feels right. This feels like the way things are meant to be. So my living room is basically done. She's purring so loud, can you hear? The next thing is to switch my desk and my dresser. The dresser is also one of the heaviest pieces of furniture I own. I've probably said that so many times today. The dresser and also the console that's next to it are so heavy. Uh-oh. I guess I'm taking a little break because she said so. It's the law. You can't move when there's a cat on you. I guess once I move the dresser in here, this entire room will be done. She got off. I'm free. Let's go move more stuff. I forgot I have to put this freaking rug back under the bed in like the perfect position, which means I need to pick up the whole like bottom half of the bed. My beautiful dresser. I love it so much. It's Art Deco. I got it at Dobbin Street in Williamsburg, one of my favorite furniture stores. All right, now I'm gonna move the litter box because it is so close to my bed, which means I need to pull in the Monstera into this spot. I don't know if this is gonna work because the Monstera is so big and it reaches out very far, it has long arms. I don't know if there's gonna be enough space to like walk in between the bed and the Monstera. This looks insane right now because my Monstera is so big. I didn't realize until pulling it out just now that it's grown so much. There's this big stalk here that needs to be propped up. It's just kind of hanging. Both of all of these need to be staked a little higher. Oh, it looks so beautiful. I need to pin it up. And the litter box will go here. And then I'm gonna move the couch to the other side. Two of my biggest leaves died when my Monstera was in this spot, because I think they just weren't getting enough light because my couch was, you know, pretty big and was blocking some light. So that's sad, but hopefully it can do a bit better here. There's a little baby growing. There's a little baby growing right here. I didn't even notice that because it just was like hard to get to in that spot, but these two crunchy leaves passed away. So yeah, I'm gonna spend some time now pruning and staking it up. Yay! Okay, that took me so long. The leaves will naturally turn to face the sun and they're oriented toward that other window. I think in a couple days they'll all turn and situate themselves in a way that makes more sense. It looks like a jumbled mess right now. I had to detangle like 4 different gigantic vines. That was a task. I also realized that I do need to pot that up a little bit. Luckily it's a very big pot, so I just need to lift it and add more soil on the bottom. That is going to be a huge freaking chore. I might need another person to help me with that. So yeah, for the time being, it is sticking out into the walkway a lot, but I know that it'll shift towards the light hopefully soon. I'm also a little sad because now that I've pinned it up more, bottom is bare because some of those leaves at the bottom died because they weren't getting enough light. But that's life. My main room looks incredible, but the rest of my apartment looks insane. Absolute chaos. I have no choice but to carry on. I have to continue. I'm gonna keep going. I think the plan is to move the desk like right there, and then the console here. This couch I'm gonna put on that wall, I think. This weird middle room, which is genuinely the size of a hallway, it used to be my office because I couldn't fit my actual couch. The green couch was my first ever couch, and that does not fit in this room because it's so chunky and has very high arms. So I just assumed that no couch would fit here and used this space as an office space. I got this extra narrow standing desk and it looked really beautiful that way, but the thing that I didn't like about that setup, I just wanted there to be multiple places to sit. Because when people came into my apartment, I could kind of tell that they would just stand awkwardly. I didn't have good, comfortable, obvious places to sit down. Like, it wasn't an inviting entrance. Because I originally had just like one tiny little table in my kitchen and these free chairs that I got from the grandma's attic. So that wasn't inviting for people to come into. And then this room had no seating. So the only real seating for my guests clear across the other side of the apartment. So my main goal the last year or two of redecorating my apartment was to make it comfortable for people to come hang out and sit down, and for there to be just as many places to sit as possible. Obviously it's nice for having friends over, but it's also nice for me. Since I do a lot of work on my computer from home, I can like sit in that room, I can sit in this room, I can sit over there instead of just standing at this desk, you know? So I kind of always wanted this room to have some sort of entrance seating, and then a friend gave me a free projector and I was like, bing! I'm gonna make this a movie room. Of all the places in my apartment, this is the only wall, one clear white wall. Here's the projector. This is like a perfect huge wall and we're very close, so it's like, it's great for movies and shows. I have friends over all the time. So yeah, a couple years ago I found this couch on Facebook Marketplace. It's pretty narrow and it has very low armrests. I think it fits the space decently well. I have really liked it this direction just because I'm wanting to mix everything up. I just want to try the couch on the other side. And then since I've cleared this wall here, I was wondering if this wall is big enough for the projector. I could also take off this door because it does take up like 5 inches of space. I already took off this door in order to fit everything. So I might put this door back and take this door off and switch them. I don't know. Okay, so I've changed my mind. I'm actually gonna leave the red couch here. I tested what it would be like to sit on that side and I didn't like it at all. Sitting here on the couch gives me like a clear view down that side of the apartment and then down to my favorite part of my kitchen, and not the other side that has the sink and the stove and all the things that you don't want to look at. So this is great because I don't have to move these 2 extremely heavy things now. I just need to decide if I want the desk to be here or here. I might try both. Okay, it's the next day. I spent way too much time last night reinstalling the doorknobs and the lock on this extra door that goes to the hallway. I took them all off in order to fit the bookcase against the wall there. So technically that door has been unlocked this entire time, but the door is sealed, so it's not like anyone would have been able to open it. It took me forever to figure out how to put them back on because I couldn't remember what I did like a year ago. I finally got it this morning and I turned the lock and that just felt so much better. Even if the door is sealed, I think someone could have busted it open if they used enough strength, but now it's deadbolt locked, so I was technically in an unlocked apartment this entire time. It's fine. It's fine. And I spent the rest of last night deliberating on a few things that I could not for the life of me make my mind up on because I think I was exhausted and a little delirious. So I was like, take the night, get some sleep, think about it in the morning. I feel very clear on these things now and I'm excited to get them done. So first of all, I do not like the bed right up against the door. It just feels weird. So I am gonna put the other nightstand on the other side of the bed like normal people do. A lot of these things are very obvious common sense, but in my mind, I just want to try everything and decide for sure that I don't like it, and then I can go back to the thing that feels better, and then I know that that is the thing that I prefer. I also really prefer the bookshelf being right up against the couch being in between two bookshelves makes it feel more like a book nook. And I realized that in a couple months I'm going to put my AC unit into that window next to the Monstera because it's the only window that I could put my AC unit in. Once it starts blowing cold air, it will hurt the leaves of the Monstera. So I'm gonna put the Monstera back next to the red couch since I'm not moving the red couch. And I just really prefer the Monstera there. It's such a beautiful sight when you first walk into my apartment and look down the apartment. And I think now that I've re-staked it and re-supported all of the vines and they're sitting a bit higher, they'll be able to get more light. So I am glad that I moved it because I probably wouldn't have noticed that it needed that. But I am moving the console to where the desk is right now. I'm going to switch the desk and the console because the desk has these really beautiful legs in this space between them. But I think it's like a really lovely thing to look at before this big solid hunk of wood. I hope it looks good. Who knows, I might be switching that back too. We'll see. I'm also going to put the second French door back up. I feel kind of silly for taking that down too. I need to stop messing with hardware and taking stuff off doors and taking doors off. But the reason why I did that was because I wanted to be able to fit the dresser there, and then I used the door on this side as a way to hang this beautiful tapestry that I got from Guatemala. But I noticed recently that because that spot is so sunny, the tapestry is actually getting damaged by the sun, and all of the colors on that side of the tapestry are totally faded. I'm so sad I didn't notice that before. I think I underestimated just how bright the exposure is in that particular window. So instead I'm gonna fill that window with other plants to do some plant rearranging. Then I think I'll be done. Aside from all of the stuff in the kitchen that I need to clean up because it's a very chaotic mess in there right now. I'm realizing that I might need to repin it. I think I oriented the leaves to face the opposite side because that window's on the opposite side. So I have to redo this. Great! I feel like I may have said this about everything, but this is genuinely the heaviest piece of furniture in my apartment. And I have this issue where these two sides of it don't have like a soft bottom thingy. At one point I tried to move it and it scratched my floor really bad, and I noticed that it was missing the pieces on the bottom. And so this is how I improvised in the moment, and I've just left it this way. I put beer koozies underneath. By the way, I don't know how I managed to lift this by myself, but I did. And I have a Hendrix gin koozie. Where's this from? Badass Brooklyn koozie. It's the only way I can move this thing, so I'm gonna sit here and scoot for my life. Luckily it doesn't have to go very far. I'm struggling with where to rearrange all my plants. This one here that I just hung in the kitchen doesn't quite fit in that hanging basket. And I don't know if I have a plant right now that can handle that much sun. Okay, I need to stop. This is not a plant video. I'll just show you where I put everything at the end. Alright, this is the final result of all that chaos. I'm so happy with this layout. I love my apartment so much. This whole experience felt like a ritual of appreciation for my home. It's such a privilege to live here on my own in this beautiful city and to be so free. I hope you guys enjoyed. Stay tuned because I have a much more intense makeover planned for my apartment coming up next week. Let me know what you think and what would you do with this space. I'll see you all very soon.